Evening and welcome back to Wargaming in a Cave. I'm sorry there was no game in April, it's a bit unfortunate, just life got in the way and we never got around to rolling dice. But we did make up for it by going to Salute, which was a lot of fun, really enjoyed it. Got a chance to chat to Ken Riley, Yorkshire Gamer, and admire his wonderful game that he's putting on that won an award. I thought I'd put that in, Ken, yes, because I know how proud you are of that. And got a chance to meet Dave and Chris Brown, who were demonstrating their new Ancients game. I won't attempt to pronounce it because I normally get it wrong. I participated in that. That was good fun, and looking forward to its release in the summer. Hopefully it will be nearer rather than the end of summer. Mind you, given the weather outside at the moment, where it's chipping it down with rain, I think summer's come and gone. So Dave, Chris, if we can have the rules, that would be great. What's going on in the cave? Well, as I said, there was no game in April, unfortunately, but there is going to be a rather large game in May. We are planning a Waterloo game over 2 days. There won't be any Prussians. It will just be the Allied Ridge and the French. We'll be playing on the table here in the cave, which is just under 16 feet long. There'll probably be 2,000 or 3,000 figures on the table. We'll be using GDA2. And of course, I'll be doing plenty of videos, updates about that as the game carries on, as the game takes place rather. So there'll be updates about that. And as part of that, I'm desperately painting up another battalion of British. It's always the way, isn't it? You go to organise the game, you think, oh, I don't quite have enough toys. So there's another one being painted, which will hopefully be ready before the game. So I'm testing my speed paint skills because I've got 3 weeks to paint a battalion of 32 figures. Speaking of painting, I'll show you in a moment what's come off the conveyor belt in April. It's been quite a busy month. Just a question, please. I'll put a comment in the turn on comments, hopefully if I've mastered YouTube videos now. I've been toying, it's a few years off yet, when I retire, about maybe doing a bit of painting for other people. If you'd be interested in me doing a bit of painting for you, or you think my painting's up to scratch, then that would be really helpful if you put some comments on the chat, just so that I have a taste to see whether anybody will be interested. Let me show you what I've been up to. Before then, I should just tell you what purchases I made in Salute. It was quite, as far as purchasing new figures is concerned, only a regiment of Perry's Dragoons. We are launching a new project of 7 Years' War. So I picked up not the latest copy, the 3rd edition of Warfare in the Age of Reason, which I really enjoyed. The 2 campaigns that I played with them in the dim and distant past, and I'm sure they'll be as good as ever. And bits and pieces really, brushes, trees, and I just enjoyed milling around the show, which was really good. It was packed, really enjoyed it. I agree that there could be a few more historical games. And that's encouraged me maybe to look to put on a game again at Salute. I haven't done that for a while. But I really enjoyed the show. So well done to those who organise it. And hopefully all will be set for again for next year. Right, moving away from Salute, let's show you what's come off the production line. Now, I have finished quite a few Germans actually in April. You'll see this 88 Flak 36 gun that is a Britannia. The gun has only recently been finished. The crew were finished quite some time ago. If I said over 2 or 3 years, it wouldn't be far wrong. As you can see, they are based on an old DVD. I really like the circular bases for large guns. So they're ready to take their place on the field next time we play Rapid Fire. I've done a few command stands as well. I've managed to put aerials on the radios using the wire that Don McHugh from Wargaming HQ recommended. So thanks for that, Don. They worked really well. As you can see, a few command bases and a 120mm mortar. Germans have also benefited from quite a number of AFEs being finished. We've got trucks, a self-propelled gun, one of the Lorraines, I think if my memory serves me correctly, again with the aerials. I need to finish off the crew, which I only realised when I'd finished painting the vehicle that I hadn't got them, which is rather frustrating. Another truck. These will serve obviously for both Arnhem and Normandy. Next we have a Mark IV with a quad 20 on top of it. Now, I'm not sure if it normally, when it was firing, had the sides down like that or whether they should be up, but I've gone for them down. I quite like it that way, and hopefully you agree it's turned out relatively well. And along with that, there's another Hanomag. Couldn't seem to find the gunner for the front, so I stuck a Britannia gunner in the back. I think it's a Ravensthorpe model. And this one here, P107, for 21st Panzer when they finally get off the ground. The Arnhem project. Finished the first of a number of buildings that we purchased a while ago. I think got about 12 or 13 more buildings to get through, so that I have some chance of putting on Arnhem. This one I've gone for the blue windows. I sort of vacillate. Sometimes I paint them black, sometimes I paint them blue. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. I can't quite decide which I prefer best, so they tend to get an alternative finish every time I paint a building. But that's that one. That's from Ravensthorpe, and again, really nice model. I think that again was designed by Don McHugh and only recently been added to the Ravensthorpe catalogue. But yeah, recommend that one. The last unit that's been finished in April is the 1st Regiment of KGL Hussars. You'll see that just literally been put on their bases and been flocked. They are now ready for the table. Again, I need their colours. I should be putting in an order to Maverick flags. I've got a lot of units that have not got flags, which is terrible. I should really be finishing them, adding them as I finish them, but I never seem to get that well organised. As you can see, they're all, hopefully you'll agree, nicely finished. I'm really quite pleased with them. There's another regiment of KGL Hussars to paint, but I'm not sure that they'll be done in time for the Waterloo game. But these chaps will certainly see action. It's just time to tell you what else is being, or what's going to be painted hopefully in May. As I said, there's a regiment of British infantry, which have had their faces and barrels done. In fact, I might just pass the camera over them before I finish. And I'm also going to get round to hopefully making a new mat. The mats on my table were done originally just after the cave was finished. That was about 5 years ago. I've changed the system slightly. You'll find some videos on my channel as to how I made them the first time up. The mistake I made was I made them onto the wrong side. There's a polythene finish and a cloth finish, and I put them on the polythene finish, which has led to them cracking. That led to me redoing the mats, doing them properly. I've done 2 mats for the table, and I need to do 1 more. And when I do that, I will remake the video, or not remake them, I should do some new videos, which hopefully you'll find helpful, and it would encourage you to give it a go at making your own terrain mats. So let me just show you what's on the work table. Here's the unit that's currently being painted. British Infantry advancing. Again, they're, as usual with me, they are front rank figures. They've had their faces done, as you can see, their cuffs and collars, their shakos, and they are going to have their jackets started this evening if all goes according to plan. There's the Perry's figure, which was given out at Salute. It was either last year or the year before. He's going to be painted up so he can defend the North Gate at Hougoumont. And over here, the other thing on my painting table at the moment is another regiment of Aventine Seleucid Pikes. Really enjoyed painting them, lovely figures. So hopefully they'll see some progress. And there's a few Belgium Fusiliers, a light company, I think, because when I painted the battalion to begin with, I put the light company onto skirmish stands, so they tend to get used separately, and I like to have all my allied units as 32 figures. So they are going to be painted up, and that spare horse is for a French general who's around here somewhere. So that's what's on the painting table. As ever, I will leave a space for comments. Again, about the painting, that would be really helpful if you post some comments or questions about that. And secondly, I haven't done any how I paint videos recently, so if you'd like to see one or have something in mind, Napoleonic or ancient or World War II related, I will see what I can do, or any questions as ever, feel free to pop them in the chat and I'll get back to you. Thank you again for watching Wargaming in the Cave. As I said, disappointing there was no game in April, but looking forward to a 2-day spectacular in May. and I'll share plenty of photos on various Facebook pages. And the videos. And speaking of Facebook pages, just a reminder, Wargaming in the Cave's got a separate Facebook page. Following numbers seem to have gone, well, spiked up to an 80 or 90. Nothing major, but I'll post some more photos on there and updates as we go through. So thank you for following, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you soon.